Alright, so for those of you watching this video, you've made it to the end of week 1 of the detox, so congratulations. We just like to do kind of a brief video at the end of each week. Keeps people motivated, gives a little bit of extra information, maybe answers some questions along the way, certain things you might have felt, basically how the diet's working at this point, and just give you that information so you can feel a little bit better about doing the detox each time that you do it in the future. So basically week 1 is typically one of the hardest times for the detox. The first 4 days or so are pretty tough, especially if you're a caffeine drinker. So anybody who's used to drinking coffee on a daily basis or multiple cups of coffee on a daily basis might experience some mild headaches or a little bit of fatigue. That's completely normal. As the body starts to flush out a little bit more, that energy will come back, and it'll usually come back better than when you're on caffeine. So then when you do add coffee back in after, if you choose to, if you want to, you'll have tons of energy. So basically the first 4 days, we did 1 scoop of the Clearvite. And so you're doing 1 scoop about 10 minutes before breakfast is what I prefer. I usually just mix it with coconut water. I like to just kind of slug it down, so I'm typically maybe 8 ounces or so of coconut water. Drink that down about 10 minutes before I eat. So the Clearvite's kind of cool because it has digestive enzymes in it. And it's also got protein and carbohydrates and a little bit of fiber in it as well. So what you're going to do is by having this 10 minutes before you eat, rather than just with the first meal, you're actually putting some calories down on an empty stomach that are extremely beneficial for the body. High quality nutrients in here, so your body's going to absorb it really well on an empty stomach. It's also going to fill you a little bit because there's 15 grams of protein in it roughly. So for those of you looking to lose a little bit of weight, you drink this before, and what it'll do is when you do eat 10 minutes later, your body's a little bit fuller, so you'll be apt to eat a little bit less. So that's the first 4 days. Days 5, 6, and 7, you actually increase that to 2 servings. Now, if you didn't read the directions right, or I know that some of the new brochures, they kind of have 1 or blank servings, and it's like basically saying whatever your healthcare provider says. They didn't used to have that, and I didn't notice it until this year. But typically those 5 to 7 days, you're going to do 2 servings. And so that'll look like serving before breakfast, serving before dinner. And that'll go through day 7, which was yesterday for me. So basically now I'm on where we're doing 3 servings a day. Now this is important for a few different reasons. The Clearvite, because it has protein in it, it has carbs, and it has some healthy fats, as well as some enzymes, certain nutrients. The more that you're taking throughout the day, it's actually going to supplement your diet really well. So week 2, since there's no animal products, you're cutting out the turkey, the chicken, the fish, the lamb that you're allowed to have in week 1, or other wild game meats, which we're still in moderation, remember. But when you cut out that protein, that's usually a chunk of calories. So if you just cut out the protein but didn't add any more calories in the form of fat or carbohydrates, you're going to get really hungry on week 2. Or if you just increase your vegetable intake, what you'll notice is the veggies have more fiber. Going through the system, it's going to create a little bit more gas, a little bit more bloating. So I urge those of you that are into week 2 now, or when you get there, if you're watching this video hopefully right before, you kind of meet that need with increasing your fat intake. So healthy seeds that are allowed on the list, your avocado, your coconut oil, nut butters, cashew, almond, raw nuts during the day. Those are all really good quality fats, and the fats are going to give you a ton of energy. Just for those of you that don't know, protein per gram of protein, it's basically 4 calories. Per gram of fat, you're getting 9 calories. So your fat intake, when it goes up a little bit, it's actually going to give you significantly more energy burn. And week 2, that's going to be really important because now you're not having those meat products. Those of you that are working out, even more important if you're trying to go to the gym through this too. Nice thing about the week 2, now your body's detoxing really hard too. You got 3 servings of the Clearvite. You've probably looked through the ingredients on the back. Just want to highlight a couple of them that are really important. One of the amino acids that's included in this is the L-glutamine. So L-glutamine is actually very, very beneficial to the gut. So what happens when the gut starts to break down, or if those of you have ever heard of leaky gut, it means that basically now those junctions between the villi, so basically your intestines are lined with these villi. So instead of being smooth and they have just this surface area, now they have all this surface area between the villi. What happens with the leaky gut is those villi kind of separate, the intestines become flatter, so the surface area is a lot less. Your ability to absorb nutrients is a lot less, but the problem is those junctions between the villi become widened a little bit. And when that happens, the body can actually absorb larger proteins and molecules that it shouldn't, and it can cause autoimmune responses. People that are constantly getting sick, constantly getting rashes, constantly getting sore joints. They link a lot of those to, they call them autoimmune diseases, but it's actually just an autoimmune response most of the time, even if you don't have a specific disease process going on genetically. The L-glutamine actually helps to repair those junctions and actually create more surface area and heal that. So the L-glutamine is huge, and now that you're getting 3 servings, it's actually going to start to heal the gut. In probably the last video, or maybe the next one at the end of week 2, I'll talk about another supplement that Apex Energetics does, and it's actually called Repairvite. So you could follow the Clearvite with this Repairvite, and it's actually extremely high in L-glutamine. And so it's really kind of looking at keeping that anti-inflammatory diet or something very similar, adding in more of that L-glutamine and the Repairvite as well as the other nutrients that are in that to really try to help repair. This may not sound appealing to everybody out there, but those that have been suffering with a lot of pain in the body, a lot of inflammation, autoimmune diseases, this can be a huge way that, combined with a good probiotic, can help heal the gut. So I'll talk about that a little bit later on, but just something to look out for in one of the next videos. What I also wanted to talk about is during this week when you're doing a little bit more veggies because of the extra fiber. So we talked about it creating more bloating and more gas. A lot of people were like, well, I had these stomach aches last time and I couldn't explain it, but it just felt like air trapped in the stomach. And so what that is, that's that extra fiber going to work. Sometimes it's a little bit too much fiber for some, so for those of you that are having any achiness in the gut, get yourself a good blend like digestive enzyme. We carry a couple in the office. I can't think of the name off the top of my head. Medigest is a really good one. That's mostly betaine hydrochloride. It's a little extra hydrochloric acid, helps get the acid production right in the stomach. You basically take a pill before meals, helps break down the food better so you don't have that bloating and gas. There's a couple other ones that, depending on what your diet looks like normally or what you've kind of been dealing with, might be better off. There's some of the blend of enzymes instead of just the betaine hydrochloride like the Medigest. We have a couple other ones by like Thorne Research and a couple other brands that are kind of more of a broad scope, and they have different enzymes that help support the pancreas as well. Helps break down proteins, fats, and carbohydrates as well as some of that fiber. So just check in with your doctor. If you're in our clinic, just ask me and I can tell you which one would be best for you. If you don't have a gallbladder because you've had it removed, let us know that as well. With some extra fats, if you're doing extra avocado or oils, it can be really tough if you don't have a gallbladder. The gallbladder stores the bile, which breaks down the fat. The liver produces the bile, but then the gallbladder can't store enough because it's not there. So what we can do is we can actually supplement with like a bile extract, and you'll basically take that before the meals that you have fat. And you can do that even when you're not on the cleanse. A lot of our patients actually will take, I think it's called Beta Plus. Beta Plus has ox bile acid, and it helps to basically give your body the bile that it's supposed to have to break down the fat. So if you don't have a gallbladder, that's a great way to go. One of the other things I was going to talk about in the Clearvite, for those of you that are looking to drop weight and body fat, the week 2 is really important. It's really important that you kind of stick to the diet, you increase the water intake. Water is going to help flush the system a little bit. It's going to get rid of some of that cramping and bloating, but it's just going to move stuff through the system better, make sure your water balance is good so you're not getting headaches, you're not getting tired because your body's not absorbing your water and sodium balance properly. It also has what's, they call it lipotropic. nutrients. So lipotropic just means that they're trying to, there are certain nutrients that help break down fats more. So if you're giving the body a really good diet and then you're throwing these lipotropic nutrients at it, it's going to help your body burn fat better. And now you're taking this 3 times a day. So you're creating kind of like a fat burning zone. So this middle week, you might lose a little bit of extra weight. So for those of you looking to lose weight, this is a great week. Week 3 is going to come really easy because now once you can enter the proteins back in, it's kind of cake till the end. I mean, it seems a lot easier once you can kind of have those proteins again. So like I said, week 2 is the toughest one. We're going to share some emails. Check the first email that we sent out that had the link to the presentation video. If you look on the links, I think it's an attachment in there. There was actually an attachment from last year when we did the detox, and Dr. Amber actually wrote a bunch of recipes for week 2. Kind of get bored eating the same food, so go ahead and check those out. Try some of those recipes. See what you think. If you like them, let us know. If you create something and you want to share with us that we can share with other people, send them our way, and we'll be happy to forward them out as well. But just have fun with it. It's only 3 weeks long. You're a week through it already. So just 2 weeks left. This is the hard week. So, work hard at it. If you're doing sauna, sauna should be, a couple times, 2-3 times a week. I'm doing 3 or 4. Just trying to sweat out some of those toxins a little bit more. Like I said before, though, if you're doing that, make sure you're replenishing fluids. You don't want to feel dehydrated. But other than that, good luck with the detox. I will shoot another video in a week, and I will post that to you as well. So if there's any questions, I'm going to attach my email at the bottom of the video again here, or in the links in the description of the video. So feel free to email me if you have any questions. All right, I hope everything's going well, and I'll see you in a week.